Alright everyone, good evening from where I am. And welcome to another game of the Jigoku Invitational. Going to have, if I know Tsuru and I know 3DCube, we're going to have Dishonor Crab versus Dishonor Phoenix. From my perspective, it's sometimes kind of hard to dishonor Crab as the Phoenix player, just because most of your stuff is done through them leaving play with dishonor tokens, which them leaving play is sometimes a problem. Their characters, at least. And they have fairly decent tools to control your characters, which facilitate some of the Dishonor game plan. And they can keep up with cards. But it's definitely not undoable. So Crab starts off with Cute and Hida finds Floating Fortress, Augury, and Student. I personally think I would have bought neither of these. Just put 2 Fate on the Yasuki and go from there. So it will pass, but now we can see Lighthouse onto the Crab Conflict deck. Trying to limit the Crab player's optimal plays. Finds a way of the Crab. So that's not the immediate biggest hit for this matchup, but it's a decent hit. Something like Augury is going to do very little in this matchup. I'm surprised Tsuru decided to buy it over just spending money on the Yasuki. That's probably a fairly big misplay from the start. Especially because the matchup is not built on spamming a lot of cards in a conflict. .3DCube decides to go Void just so he can force the Iron Mine, so that there's more option for an assassination as a control tool. Runs into Endless Watch and correctly needs to bow out here, so Tsuru is going to win the conflict. To be honest, it might have just been fine with With just defending with one character. I'm not sure if it would be correct for Phoenix to give Grab an honor here to try and win the Void Ring. I don't think Void was so important here. But the Augury stood with Elegant Tesson, and we move on to a potential conflict. Rally to the causes flipped would potentially make for a defense with the student. So we see a for shame that bows. Which gets turned into a Chord Games with a Final Whisper. Into another Final Whisper. Oh, okay. I'm not sure pulling those this early is correct. Political, it seems like a conflict. Water is probably not worth. Air is a potential, but why not go for the extra card advantage? Putting that amount of pressure on the crab opponent, which currently has worse draw than you. Definitely correct. And of course fire isn't going to do a whole lot against Ogiri. Okay, it's Guardian Kami into the conflict. To Fate to resolve the ring. Tosses Miyako. So 3DCube wins, gets to honor or dishonor anything on the field. We might see an honor on the Oathkeeper. Non-diplomat, okay. Then there's the undefended and then the Earth Ring. And some more card advantage from the student. Personally, I really like the Lighthouse. It's an easy keep still, I think. On the other side, that could also just be a keep. Yasuki, Funeral Pyre. Maybe it does the Funeral Pyre. But no, decides to keep it, finds another Hida Guardian. And Kudenhida finds finds the Yasuki discards a copy of Iron Mine and Yasuki, so that's pretty decent to have binned for 3DCube. Bunch of small stuff on 3DCube side as well. Yes, 3DCube is a bit of an oxymoron, but you know. No, wait, it's the other way around. What's the word for it again? A pleonasm, yes, that's it. Or tautology, I think both work with probably some pleonasm is to substitute grammar, but yeah, tautology is the meaningless repetition. Correct. Meanwhile, back at L5R, we have a political air conflict. Tsuru plays another core games. Doesn't win him the conflict. And another final whisper, wow. Diplomat can once again remove one of those dishonor tokens or place one themselves. Though again, at the moment, this turn nothing's leaving for Crab. That's what this deck sort of lacks, is when its its dishonor tools are being mitigated too much. It has a bit of trouble, it can't really switch to a Conquest game plan, so you're not threatening much. Especially 3DCube's playstyle and how he places fate on his characters is very already from time to time, in my opinion. Goes in with 2 on water so they can go to Eternal Watch with bowing. And gets an undefended. That's a pretty important free resource. And Reddy's a dreamer. What was the dreamer put on? Okay. Engineer places an iron mine, discards the tower. That's a bit ironic. Because that's definitely the sort of holding you want in this matchup. Yeah, Apprentice, Engineer, and Guardian are gonna win this conflict pretty cleanly. I'm not quite sure why Tsuru is defending here. If you don't have the capability to go for Earth or Fire after this, then this is a really wasted defense. You don't even win with Banzai because they have +6. Chooses to inversion it to fire. Trying to preserve his 3 Fate investment. But I still don't see the reason for the defense. I know we're in a Dishonor matchup, but I think you needed a body to attack. And I would definitely would have loved to see an attack. Yeah, that was again a misplay. Elemental inversion could have netted you the Fate and a Void Ring or Earth if you wanted to. You know, Tsuru doesn't want to break the province because this is a really farmable province for them. I really don't like the changes that 3DCube made to this deck. I don't think Tsukune has a place here. And I think 2 Isawa Tadaka on the conflict side are way too... is also 1 too much. Wait, with 3 Fate, are you going to be able to play around Way of the Crab? You discarded 1, but that looks scary. Yeah, have a good night, Rob. Crab continuing to go wide will lose most of the board this turn, however, but are pretty powerful. There's not really much in ways of dishonor for Crab currently for Tsukune, so at least that's a fairly big body, especially if 3DCube can get it honored. Cube is having a bit of a think. Their hand's still pretty good. Game is definitely not lost, but it's also not anywhere near over. Although then again, the Tainted token does bring a clock together with the 2 Dishonored guys. I do notice 3DCube is playing Dishonor Phoenix, but they also removed Backhanded Compliment from this deck, from what I saw. So I thought there were already some questionable choices, but okay. Eternal Watch is attacked. It's held off by just the province. The apprentice engineer in the fire, in the pot, in the stew. Cube really thinking about that defense. It's really hard to speculate the line of play here from my side, but generally undefended right now is probably valuable. Okay, and Tsuru wins Air takes 1. Gets keep is pretty good. Just a second, guys. I'm going to be right back. Sorry about that, everyone. Nature called. I didn't miss much, probably. We're just closer to being Dishonored. It looks like currently it's more in the direction of Phoenix. But that board does look like just a tiny bit more impressive. I don't know if the suicidal attacks into Eternal Watch, which gets you nothing, especially now Fire and All is in play, whether that's really correct for Phoenix to do. Especially going Watering and going for the Fate. In theory, Tsukune gets them the pickup ring, so it's not like they don't have a fight, but Scrab, well, what ring do you deny here? Do you air, probably? If you can win it with covert, even better, probably. Nets you 2 keepers as well. For political with the covert will generally win, unless Tsuru wants to commit to 2 characters, and it probably will. Although you kind of have to covert the Inquisitor, else you just get bowed. Okay, chooses to covert Sukuna. And there's only military left, so I don't see why we would defend with Taraka. But guess the Inquisitor with no fate on the whole board is a good offense or defensive character as you want, I guess. not defending or defending with the Guardian is basically the same for Crab at the moment. Either gets them an undefended loss or a tainted trigger. Okay, Inquisitor is blanked because of the student. And that sadly makes 3DCube pass. Fire Null dishonors the Inquisitor, paying another honor for this conflict that they were already winning, but at least debilitating the Inquisitor somewhat for the next round. And then you can just do a Earth attack. You should do it, else Sukune is going to resolve the ring. Yep, and we just see the defense, we'll see pass. "3DCube replaces a card for one of Tsuru's cards. Bit weird, but works out, I guess. Tsuru's board is going to leave, that's a pretty big deal. But we're still not there in terms of winning this game. Although 3DCube is going to need to have to make a lot quicker number of decisions. The Kahira is a potential buy. But no, we see Season. I actually think with a board full of, like a row full of quartermasters, I think Season was actually not that good. But finding 2 Solemn Scholars for yourself is definitely worth something. Tsuru buys out, putting fate on the characters because they can and because it's good against the dishonor tokens should they come out. All the 1-ups here being bought with 1 fate on cube side. Okay, the air attack deployed garrison. Puts it on top. Then we have the bow on the deployed garrison with the Inquisitor. There is technically another one we can get in if we sacrifice a fire on oil. And now defending is going to be a bit tricky. Why are we going into Eternal Watch? I guess we have the military favor. Like, come on, this deck should have like... The crab deck should have at least like one more farmable province. Or like usually a bunch of provinces that you can attack. Anyway, tainted unit is declared. Defense is made. Conflict will be passed. And then we can go Earth or Void. Doesn't matter, we have Tsukune. Then we get undefended. Another one from the fire now. Fate from the Ideal Guardian, that's correct as far as I'm concerned. Tsukune resolving... Well, yeah, water doesn't really matter, but Earth. Library, then Pure Heart under it, Secluded Shrine and a copy of Tsukune. Pretty decent. On the other side, Vanguard Warrior, Witch Hunter, some power. Most likely not enough though, especially with Secluded Earthring. So we'll probably see an airing attack here from Cube. Okay, so we have a massive political declare from Cube and met in full force from Tsuru. Backhanded displayed, but countered with censure. Oguri gains a skill. Glory Games going for the dishonor. I assume there's like a whisper attached to that. Okay, no, that was one card. Give the opponent +1/+1. Cube can still pass for the moment. Guardian is going to be used though. For shame bows Oguri, but okay, yeah. Dishonor seems more logical. Guardian goes on the Witch Hunter. Is there another for shame? Only one, if there is. That's why 3DCube should have just passed and see where is the +4/+4 going to go. If Tsuru was smart, they would have put it on the Oguri, but putting himself at 1. Final activation, but that can be countered with the Inquisitor effect on the, well, on either character. And Witch Hunter can't make up for that difference, so I think that's GG. Oh, uses for shame for it. Okay, well. Don't think we use Inquisitor yet, yeah? Yeah, no. Oh my god, the funeral pyre. Oh yeah, but the Daka is there. It was engineer. And there's a win. The players relieved that they have to stop thinking about this. Yeah, that was a interesting grindy Dishonor Dishonor matchup. In the end, Phoenix edged out by a little bit. Assassination is a good play if you are sure that you're not going to be dishonored. Alright, and it was there were 0 dynasty cards, so they would have indeed just lost next turn, but next turn doesn't matter. There's a dishonored character, so there would have to be something broken. Alright, thank you all for watching. I'll be streaming the Silver Cup final for January between myself and Litogers. This is, I think, a revenge match from the pool. Yeah. They had a lot of bows into my HMT deck, and I didn't have a single ready for battle in hand. So yeah, in that way they actually have a pretty major advantage over me. Just the flat shutout with Miyamoto's Fury and 3 times Steward of Law, 3 times for shame. It's pretty big. Didn't even know Fury was unrestricted. This match is going to happen soon. They had to do something first, and then they're going to be back in a bit. So I have no clue. Could be like 5 minutes, could be like 20 minutes. So yeah, I'll post something in Discord when it's going to start. And then you can come and watch. Or just follow me and use the Twitch notifications. Alright, see you all soon.